Like a thing.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another FBA happy hour. Let us know where you're from, what you're up to, what questions you have. So, what's been going on?
Just, living the dream.
Living the
I'm
dream.
at Sherwin Williams, as everybody can see. Oh, wrong way. Sherwin Williams. I gotta get some paint for my cabinet. I finally picked out the colors for my house after I don't know, probably a month of deciding. I finally
Just
decided.
nice. How many are you working on? Just one right now, or
No,
did you
we're working on two. Yeah,
two? Okay,
yeah. So I've had a really crappy day, but we're
that's
surviving.
yeah. That sucks. Just running around, or
No, my dad was working for me, and he got called back to work, so now I have nobody.
oh shit. Oh, so he was doing like most of like the contracting and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hired him. Oh, this is my insurance company. Hold on, because I have no insurance on my house now for a major mess up. Hold on.
All right. Well, Michaela takes care of that. Let us know where you're from, what you're up to today. I'm just gonna post this on the stream real quick on Instagram. How's everyone doing with back to school? Is anyone crushing it, or how's it going for you? Let me post this. For me, back to school, I'll just go. For me, back to school has been pretty good. Just been, doing the normal stuff. I've taken a different approach, and it seems to really be working out well for me. Basically, just selling normal everyday things and just taking advantage of basically just to increase traffic.
What are we talking about?
Oh, I was just saying. I asked everyone how back to school was going. No one
Oh,
said anything. So I was just like talking.
it feels like it fell off pretty fast this year.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really do much of it.
Got my drink.
I was just like doing my normal stuff, and then yeah, I benefited obviously from the increased traffic. I do like seasonal opportunities, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea of just selling stuff that sells all the time that doesn't get returned, and yeah, just taking advantage of like the more traffic.
Yeah, that's always nice. That's why I love seasonal stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because even the things you
How's
don't
your
think
back to
of.
school going?
How was my back to school? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Or did you not
That's
really do
good.
that much?
No, I did a lot last month. So I knew, um, I knew that it was going to be hot for a little bit. And then, not saying that there's not other listings. Obviously, there's still listings that are good. But the ones that I was on, I started hearing things. And when I saw and heard things, I was just like, yeah, I better, get in and get out as quickly as I can, make my money. And I'm glad I did, because the listings literally fell off a cliff. The week that I went to Portland was like the week that it literally just died. And so now it's just, they're still, some of them are still profitable by small. I guess it kind of depends on if how much you value your time for FBM. So if you have a certain criteria, some people have a $5 minimum or whatever, because you have to prep it yourself and stuff. If it's like that, then most of them are no longer in that threshold.
Yeah, that's always tough. Oh, what's up, Ashley? Oh, my best backpack list got taken down. That sucks. That's one of the reasons I saw so many backpacks, and I was just like, "Ooh, that looks good." And then I was like, "No, just don't do it." I mean, I'm sure people are making money on backpacks. I just want to be able to sleep at night and with removal fees high. I don't want to have to bank on getting it back, or who knows. For me, it's just not worth it. I'm not one of these big apparel and clothing people anymore, so I don't know, to take a shot on 20, 30 backpacks across 10 just didn't make sense for me this year.
I didn't do backpacks this year either. even though I did a ton last year. And I kind of wish I did in some ways, just, I guess, done it kind of like I did with my other back to school stuff, just got in and got out real fast. But I just didn't want that to happen. The whole listings being taken down, and I just didn't know if the safety complaints or safety compliance, whatever they're called. I just didn't know. I just didn't feel comfortable with that at that time. But I do know people were making good money off of those listings. I do know that for a fact. But
Oh yeah, for sure, and like yeah, good for them because I think Tona, who was on, like he's doing really well with backpacks and stuff like that. So far, from what I've heard or seen, anyway. What's going on, tripping around life? If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. So I saw you finally made it. You made the OA troll page.
I know
On Instagram.
Just like, I'm too tired to care about what anybody has to say.
That's
the only day I got off was Wednesday of last week. I've been working every day since. So I'm just like, you know what I mean? You've reached that certain point, like a threshold of tiredness from golfing, and that you're just like, it doesn't even matter anymore. And after this morning, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
And so you just gotta do kind of like what's best for you and what you want to do.
True that.
So, Street Matt, thanks for coming. You guys have questions, drop them in. Yeah, that's.
I had a mess this morning with my insurance company. So
what happened?
So for my lender, I have to have a certain threshold on my not threshold, certain policy amount on my insurance. That's just how they work. The hard money loans, they wanted like $1 million. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went to my insurance company that I had used prior to this. I have my business car through them, everything, my other house. And they're super affordable. So that's why I go to them. And I let them know ahead of time, hey, I'm getting ready to buy a house. Like, here's the information. I did it as soon as I got the information, gave it to them. And they wrote me up a quote or whatever. And I was told that they were ready to go. And that's when I was leaving for Portland. And so it was going to close that Friday. And I had my dad go and wire the money for me. And I was going to sign virtually. And I got a phone call from them the night before letting me know that they were not ready for me to close. They said that they had the date as a different date. It was the 28th, and then they said that they only had it for the 31st, and they couldn't change the policy because I needed to be there to sign for it. Mind you, I let them know ahead of time I was going to Oregon and was like, hey, if you need me to sign anything, like, I need to do it right now because I am leaving for Oregon and I'm going to be there for a week, and the house is closing when I'm gone. And they're like, no, we'll just send it to you through email, whatever. So I was super mad. So then I went and the broker that I used, she had a recommendation for an insurance company, and I was like, sweet, I'll get a hold of them so that we could, close hopefully. And it didn't end up working out for that day. So we just switched it to the Monday after. But they got me back my quote and everything within a day. And it took my other insurance company a really long time. And then, so after that, it was going to be like $700 difference in insurance and between mine and this other one. And I was like, there's no way I'm spending $1,100 on this one. I could spend $370 or $80. So I just like, never mind. Like, let's just use my local one. They have everything together finally. And so they changed the HUD papers. Everything was switched over. And today I get a call. Mind you, I paid for this already with my down payment. I paid for my insurance for the year. I get a call today from the title company, and they're like, hey, we sent them a check to pay for your premium, and they sent it back to us, and they told us that you don't have insurance with them. And I was like, what do you mean I don't have insurance with them? I what? And she's like, yeah, she said that you have someone with somebody else. And I'm like, I just got a quote. I didn't get the other insurance. And in the HUD doc, it says that in the document, it says that they are my insurance carrier. And so I called them, and no, I don't even have insurance on my house right now. And we're doing demolition. So if something happens to it, So I have to go tomorrow morning and drop off the money so that it can be insured, and nothing happens. So I was really mad. I was like,
Oh,
thank you.
God.
Some wires got crossed between my loan processor and my insurance company, and she said that I was going with the other insurance when everybody else knew that I was going with my local one. And so they canceled my policy. And so for the last like week and a half, no insurance.
Jeez, that's crazy to like think that that could like happen. I mean, I guess that's like too. It's like that's what happens in business or Amazon. Like shit just goes sideways, and you just gotta
Yeah.
try to figure it
You
out
think
and put it back together.
you think you have insurance on your house and you don't. So
Yeah, it's crazy. It was funny. I was listening to this podcast like that Alex Ramosi does, and he was saying he was doing this interview with this guy, and he was just saying, yeah, like I don't know, he's being like really hard on himself, and he was just like, yeah, I'm having all these bad days, and he's just like, you're going to have bad days, and he's like, even if you had bad days, I forgot what the math was, but basically he was just like, every 10 days you're basically going to have a bad day. And like on the bad day, you just got to be like, just one of those days. Like, gotta look for those other ones, right? There's only 36 of them, so like, let me just get through this one, and like things will be fine. And like that's really just helped me. It's like, well,
I like that.
it's just one of those days. I mean, there's only 35 of them left now. That like I got this one under my belt, and like,
I think I've had the 35 already. So
well, maybe.
I think I had like 3 months of bad days, honestly. So I think I'm good. I think today might be the last one for this year, hopefully.
Hopefully. What's going on, Milton? How's everyone doing in the Amazon and the weed house? Amazon's been going good. I've been up every month since I kind of changed things around and getting things. Hopefully, not this month, but next month will be like 100K a month. Hopefully, if we keep,
Good.
yeah, keep going how we go. It was like one of the hardest things ever. I don't know if it was like ego wise, like you hit 100K and then like you drop off, and it's like the drop off was 100% necessary to just turn it all around. Like I feel like sometimes people don't understand. It's like when you're doing one thing, especially in an inventory based business, like you just can't like flip off the switch. Like you have to sell through that stuff. Like you have other stuff tied up. You have returns, so like that lags you like 2 to 3 months, and then it's like, well, you're basically taking a whole new approach. So you got to figure out how to like find profitable inventory doing that. And then just like anything else, like you think you find it. Like I lost, like I was finally like was crushing this one store, and then like it fell apart, and I was like, damn it! Like it was just like but it was like it was good while it lasted. Like you make like tens of thousands of dollars off the
Mm-hmm.
store, and then like you're like, oh well. But like you just kind of just got to keep going. Um, and yeah, so I mean that's been like pretty good for me, and I'm just chugging along, trying new things, and I think that's a lot of things. Like a lot of people say to like niche down, and like I do agree with that to like a certain extent, but for me, I feel like that one store was in a very certain category, and I kind of learned that category. I didn't go as deep as apparel. Like I sourced it for like 3 or 4 months, but now I'm like kind of onto this new thing. I'm like, I think this is the thing. Like the category just makes a ton of sense. I'm like, it will be easy to find. Like I don't really foresee like cancellation issues just because of the category. And then I'm just like, huh, this might be it. But you have to go through all the other stuff. Like it's just got to do it. It's crazy, but that's how I look at it.
True, true. All good things must come to an end.
That's very true. I think we skipped the question. Oh, any advice as far as starting with a prep center? I've never tried.
Nope, wrong side. Wrong side.
You got to get it like in black or something.
This is my new hat that I just got that they made me.
You can see it now when you like.
There. Oh yeah, it was out there. It looks cool though. Oh, I got some merch when I left.
Sweet, sweet.
Oh, my shirt. It's purple too. It's like a lilac.
Interesting. What would your advice be? You're like the prep center expert.
So I guess it kind of depends on how many units you're sending in? Question mark. I don't like to like dissuade people from obviously being a customer, but like there comes a point where we don't want you to be spending like crazy amounts of money on shipping because you can only send in like send out like half a box or something. So like if you're doing some good volume, like I think it's a good idea, obviously. And if you're living in like a really like high sales tax area, so like California, I know
Sure.
it's one of the high ones. Or if you just don't have time to prep. I mean, there's just some people out there who'd rather spend all their time sourcing and no time prepping, and that's, you know what I mean. That's fine. Like you got to figure out what's best for your business, obviously. So the generic answer is you got to figure out where you're kind of at in your journey, and then from there you can pick. Obviously, there's a handful of sales tax free states. It depends. Do you want to go West Coast? Do you want to go East Coast? I know people who have one on the West Coast and one on the East Coast. And then from there, narrowing down to kind of like the top choices. You can get like a referral from somebody. A lot of people don't refer just because there's been issues in the past. And I did not. I used to, and then I heard some bad stuff about the prep center I was using before we founded Oregon Prep Center. So like obviously now I do because I'm a co-owner. But if I wasn't, I don't know if I would recommend like publicly, I guess is what I'd say. Like maybe on like the DL. But yeah, it's always good.
I totally agree with that too, because it's like, I mean, you're not there all the time, but like you could change shit. Like I could see you being like, I'm gonna hop on a plane. Like people are like really complaining, and like we're gonna bang this out in the next 72 hours, type of thing. But if you're working with someone else, like when my 10 grand was stranded, like what am I gonna do? Like fly down to Montana, like try to find this person? Like it's not practical nor feasible to do it. It turned out like half the inventory was missing anyway, so it would have just been like a waste of time.
Yeah, you gotta find somebody you trust, whether that's Oregon Prep Center or not. It's huge. You have to, have to have trust in those people, because you're sending, some people are sending tens of thousands of dollars worth of stuff to us. Actually, close to, like 50K, craziness. That's a lot of money to be sending to somebody that you don't really know. And it's scary at first. So if you just have to say, hey, I normally send in 500 units per month. I think it's probably best if I just send in X amount at first, and then like after that first shipment or whatever, after the first month, then I'm willing to send in, the full amount or whatever. That's kind of how I did mine. I just slowly started sending them just to make sure that they were doing obviously what they said that they were going to do. And it turned out fine. But then, like I said, I know people who had issues with my prep center, the other one that I had, and I never did have any issue that I know of, at least. But like I said, you just kind of have to vet them out, like make sure that they fit your needs as well.
That's what I always do. Like when I do a new one, I'm like, listen, like we do a lot, but like I'm sending you 100 units. Like I promise, if you do the right thing, like it will be 200 units, and then like after that, like you'll get a majority of it. And if they're not cool with that, like it's just not going to work. It's just more like, hey, if you won't take 100 units, so I could send you like 2,000 or 3,000. Like I'm sorry, like it's just not what's going to happen.
Milton. I'm at Sherwin-Williams, Milton. Okay, can't you see Sherwin-Williams paint?
It looks like she's sitting in the car waiting for dispensary to open.
Try to get my cabinets painted.
After 3rd attempt, I finally got engaged in Adidas this morning. I'm about to go ham on sourcing some Adidas. Wish me luck. Good luck. I've never sourced Adidas, actually. I feel like a lot of people are talking about it on Twitter and stuff, so I don't know. Maybe it is
it's
good.
It's becoming harder and harder to get ungated in things, and I know this personally. So for the people who don't have like aged accounts and that have history on your accounts, it's hard. So it may take you 10, 20. I was helping somebody get ungated, and I still haven't. I've literally tried. I don't know how many different tips and tricks, and I've researched hours trying to figure out a way to help her, and I just can't. I just cannot. Like everything that we tried, no, no. Everything that I would do on my own account, it works, not hers. So it's just, I think it's just Amazon just tightening down again. You know how they went through those phases. So
Yeah.
like when they first started, they were hard, not as hard as they are now, hard-ish. And then they did the whole spree of letting people get ungated using like blank sheets of paper.
Picture of their dog and all this weird stuff.
And then now they're back again. So like, is it going to be another 6 months before we see some? Yeah, I don't know. Like it just realize that like it may take you some time, but don't just like give up super easily. You might have to try a different supplier or retailer or whatever you use. That one may not, jive well with Amazon. I just don't know. I don't.
Yeah. I do. I mean, that's kind of how it used to be. It's like we're obviously no one really fully understands or know what they do or don't do. But it used to be like, oh, like until you get it. That was always the thing. It's like, when can I sell Nike? And it's like, oh, when you do like $1 million, or when you like, it was just all this like hearsay. And now I maybe think, I feel like a theory might be like, after the whole like fake goods stuff with the wholesalers and stuff, maybe that kind of, we're like, we're gonna like tighten this stuff up, and like depending upon, I know some like beauty brands that like got gated, but
I was going to ask you about that.
Huh?
I was going to ask you about that and see if your account got like smacked too. Like there are like certain Nike listings I can't even sell anymore. I have no idea why.
Really?
Yeah, like the categories for like a lot of these brands, like I'll have them ungated, and I've had them ungated for over a year now. Like I sold tons of Nike, and then I checked back just to, I don't know what I was doing. I was just browsing around, and I looked and I was like, wait a second, why can't I sell that? And it was like a sock listing. Like it wasn't anything like, I have no idea like why. And then I checked for another brand like Clinique. I used to sell a lot of Clinique, and like one of my top listings is restricted now, so I can't even sell it.
Crazy.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like nothing happened. Like I didn't get a counterfeit claim or anything like that. Like they're fine. It's just people are getting hit with like random restrictions and stuff. I have no idea what's going on.
There's just like one really hot item right now that like, I don't want to say too much about it, but I was able to sell it last year, but this year I can't. And the person I was talking to didn't get regated in it. And I was like,
I understand.
They sold way more than I did last year, just because I wasn't like full. I was just kind of getting warmed up with OA. It's like, wasn't really doing like what you need to do for this item, or what you would have to do to kind of like make it profitable. And I was just like, ooh, like that. And I'm not even allowed to try to ungate it. It's just
exactly, you're restricted.
And I'm just like, oh wow, moving on.
Blinding me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I sold like 500 of them, and like now I can't sell them at all, and I didn't do anything wrong. It's like, I'm not sure what's going on with Amazon, but Amazon's being very weird lately, and I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird.
What's going on, Matt? Oh, we're going to insurance issue now. Our 4-month-old son is no longer insured. That sounds like a nightmare, because they said a birth certificate is not proof enough that they're a U.S. citizen. I don't know what other proof you would have as a 4-month-old.
Was he not born with a United States citizen badge?
Interesting.
Everybody has one of those, right?
I have no idea. 100K OA or RA, all OA. I don't really do any RA. The only time I would do RA if it was like an in-store pickup, but like I've ordered online, so like.
Is that really RA? Let's have a talk. Let's have a talk about that. So is in-store pickup, like not in-store, like curbside pickup, is that considered OA or RA?
I would say OA because you bought it online.
I
think when you cross the threshold, so this is a tip for everyone like Q4, you can lock stuff in like for store pickup. So like, let's just say it's Lego. So you could be like Target or whoever's like, you could only get 5. Like, okay, that's fine. So I reserve 5. before I go pick it up, I go in the store, get all of what they have, put that in my car, and then go get my pickup. So I would consider that RA because like I'm actually going in there and like standing online and like doing all that kind of stuff. But like if I'm just picking it up, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's that way. But I don't know. People say, "Oh, you do RA because you do curbside pickup." I'm like, I'm not getting out of my car to go into Walmart. That's not
Every
RA.
time I've tried to do RA at Walmart, every time as soon as I walk in the store, I'm like, this is such a mistake. Like, what are you doing?
I do
Like,
that at
you
Ollie's.
don't know how to do RA. And like, that's not to say that like you shouldn't do that or whatever. It's just I'm just so much better at OA. I should just stick to that. Or whenever someone's texting me like, oh, like go to your Walmart and like go get this, they never have it. Or like they have like two, and then I wait online for like I don't know an hour, and then it like tanks. I'm just like not doing it.
My Walmart usually doesn't have anything either. Like all of those, like people are like, oh yeah, go get this, get that, blah blah blah. I'm like, I have like no. I live in a very rural area. We don't have a lot of that crap that most people do. Like we just no, they don't carry that stuff.
How can I start with your prep center? There's a
Um,
link in the description.
yes, there's a
Then you
link, and you can fill out the application, and then we try to do it like the first week of every month because it just makes things easier when we get people on board around the same time. So if you don't hear back, then that's why. Just give it some time. But we're still taking clients though, so I do know that.
cool. What categories are your most profitable now, John, and what are you doing differently if you don't mind sharing? This is always a difficult one. So I don't really want to talk about the categories or kind of the products because like at this point, like a lot of people probably have my storefront and like I've been
John's
really
a fraud.
like not sharing numbers, not taking
John's
box
a fraud.
pictures, all that kind of stuff. What I will say, so about this, I think it's more I think people sometimes get this mixed up. It's like it's not the category really. So like if I told you like apparel is my most profitable category, it's almost not super helpful for you because like you're not going to know like where I'm getting it, how I'm getting it. I honestly think this, and I'm not just saying this to like gatekeep or any of that. It's more just like you will have a better business if you kind of figure out what sells the best for you and kind of like just figure that out. Yeah. So I would say it's more the stuff I'm doing. One, I'm not doing any apparel. So that's for me, that's just been more profitable. I've been going back and forth. Should I do it? Should I not? I'm at this point, I'm not. I'm finding a lot of other stuff. I think I don't know. It's not even stuff I'm familiar with. It's just I saw someone actually sent me a lead, and I was like, "Ooh, this category is like kind of interesting." And there's tons of sales always. I don't really hear a lot of people talking about it. So that's the kind of stuff I look for. So like if I'm on Twitter and I see people are like talking about Stanley's or Adidas or like I'm staying very far away from that kind of stuff. And those people are making tons of money. Like that's whatever. I just don't want to be involved in that. And I'm just kind of looking for categories or niches. I would say a good way to do it is like kind of look around your house, see what you have, see if that kind of stuff is profitable, and then maybe like see if there's other areas or that brand has other stuff. But yeah, I would say that's what I will say about that. But I'm really and another thing I'm doing is really trying to fight for higher ROI. I really fell into the trap of like, oh, 20%, like 10%, like just like spin it. And like when listings tank and you only have 10% to play around with, or even 20% is not that much, depending on like what you're doing. It's just you're gonna lose money on those or break even. So now I'm really trying to stack coupons, like really shoot for like 40% and like a $5 profit. Because that just leaves me lots of room to kind of reprice if I have to. Like if you're starting at 20 or even 30 sometimes, and the listing gets cut in half, or like not gets cut in half, but like drops $5, like your best case scenario is like minus $1 or two. So I'm really trying to shoot up on like what I'm buying. So like trying to get stuff that's like cost like 30 to like $75, let's call it $100. And then you have like higher margins there as well. So if you're making, 20% on something that's $100, like that's a lot. And you have a lot of room to go down.
Yeah, that's good. I like that, John. That was a good one.
Thank you. Yeah, just playing around and like.
And John's a fraud.
Yeah, yeah, maybe I will bring back a numbers orange bar shot once I get back to 100K. But
you know how nice it is not to have to share that anymore. Like just
it is. I will say this, like, and this is not throwing shade on anyone else. Like, I don't care. It's just, I don't know. There's just, I feel like every time I share that kind of stuff, it just, I don't know. It just is weird. I don't like it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I will share it just to do it. But I think I only shared in January, and that was it for the year. So I don't care. John, you're looking for how's the gym going? Well, thank you. Yeah, the gym is going good. I've signed up for a new gym because it's closer to the house. I don't really like it though. So I'm gonna just continue to go to the old gym.
I was gonna say that one gym is sweet that you show pictures of. Like,
yeah,
that's really close to that here.
Yeah, that one. So it's not really even that much further. It's like that one's probably like 15 minutes from where I am now, and there's another gym that's like 5, and the new gym that's 5 minutes away. It's like nothing like that for the gym I usually go to, and I'm just like,
it's a bougie.
I just don't like it. Like I went there once, and like I just got this like weird vibe, and I was just like all the machine, like all the weights and stuff are like tied up, and the bench, and I'm like, I never have this problem at the other gym, no matter what time I go, and I'm just like, it's not worth the aggravation. It's not really that it's even that much further, so I just like suck it up and deal with it. I kept my account open for years, but I went on hiatus for a few years up until a few months ago. I guess the age of the account helped. I get auto-engaged. Yeah. I get auto-engaged in a ton of stuff now, which is really nice, and stuff that I was like previously gated in. But there's also some stuff that, well, this account, the OA account is only, I think like 3 years old. The book account is probably like 5 years old. But I also think it's like when you put up numbers and do like a lot of revenue, that's almost, I wonder how they do treat that, like revenue versus account age. It's probably just a combination of both.
Yeah, it's a mixture.
Yeah, North Face just did the same thing.
A lot of places are.
Yeah. I think that whole thing, because there's like viral TikTok videos going around saying that like you could just get a North Face from like wherever and just like return it or something like that, and North Face has to honor it. Supposedly they have like a lifelong guarantee.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so like there's this arbitrage of like getting them cheaply, getting a brand new one, and then like selling it online or something. I would highly, highly not suggest that. Like, actually, don't do that at all.
No.
Crazy what happened to Avery. Amazon getting wild. Yeah, that is crazy. I actually was talking to him the other day. We made a video together. But yeah, it's just a reminder that this is Amazon sandbox, just like our YouTube show. We're like, YouTube could like be like, yeah, we don't like what you're doing every Friday, and then like it's over. I'm like, whatever. You just gotta try to abide by the rules. I really don't even know what the rules are of YouTube, but yeah, we just try to keep it. Just try to be helpful and not get too crazy.
It's just hard though, because sometimes Amazon just moves the goalpost in whichever direction that favors them, and like you could be doing, I don't know. I just don't want to talk about that, but
yeah.
yeah. So Yeah, that's why I'm trying to play in my own sandbox.
Yeah,
I
that's
get tired of
always.
it sometimes. You know what I mean? It's been like, honestly, it's been. I was thinking about this a couple days ago that the last like week, even though like today was bad, but like the last week and almost, well, actually almost 2 weeks now, just not having to like deal with Amazon really just it's been nice. It's been really nice. So sometimes you just gotta take a step back,
Yeah,
don't be afraid, just to take some time to yourself and do some other things or explore other options and just you can come back. Obviously, I still do Amazon. I just don't do it at 200K levels anymore.
yeah. No, that's smart. I don't think that there's like levels to everything, and I think I feel like once I hit 100K again, like I don't know if I want to really go that much higher on Amazon. I don't know. I might try to just automate it more. Right now, it's just kind of me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've like maybe not taken a step back, but like when it comes to prep, like I really took advantage of like a big opportunity, like in the last 2 days, and spent like 7 or 8 grand on like a single item. I would not have done that if I was sending it to the prep center. Like I
Mhm.
know it's coming here. Pretty much, it's all set to go. And it's gonna get out of here on Monday. It'll probably be to a warehouse on Tuesday, and like it will be checked in and ready to go. But like it was gonna go to the prep center, not be sent out till like maybe Wednesday. Like so I don't know. It was weird. It's like it just brought like some like peace of mind. I don't know. Sometimes prepping is just like you just have like that time to think, and you're just like, huh, this isn't that bad. And like I don't know. I've got like I don't know. I almost like lost. I don't know. Maybe you do a lot of merchant fulfilled stuff, and it's like
Mhm.
I feel like sometimes like oh yeah, it's like the worst thing you can do in your business, whatever. But like I don't know. There's something like it almost like brought like the hustle back, where it's like oh
Mhm.
man, like I used to do this, and like it's exciting. It's like I want to get this out the door as soon as possible. Like there's like tons of boxes in front of the house, and it's just like ooh, like it just kind of like brought that like whole like ooh this is like why I started this like I love this like kind of stuff. So I
Yeah.
was like all right,
Awesome.
like this is exciting. Like this place is like an absolute mess of just like boxes and like brown paper. I'm just yeah, I remember this, and like it's just exciting, and it's just like I'm just gonna beat everyone in. Like well hopefully they don't lose it or anything like that, knock on wood. But yeah, I think there's always stuff. And then it's like less like I love using a prep center. I love using my prep center, but it's less headspace
Yeah.
to be like, oh, did they get everything? Like, did like Walmart decide to deliver it from the store? Like, where the hell did that bag go? Right? With like the one thing in it. And it's just like I don't have to think about that. I know it all came here. I know it's all going out. So I don't know. I'm happy about that. OA, RA, instant pickup, splitting hairs there.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like a combo then.
Yeah. It's a hybrid, maybe. Hybrid. Maybe you're just like, I don't know how you put that. If you smash it together, OA, RA, I don't even know how you would pronounce that. But I'm still waiting for my account to get approved, but I'm excited to get going. That is awesome. Yeah, you're gonna like it, hopefully. What's going on? How much would you charge to share everything you know, site specific and everything? That is really interesting. Me and Drew talk about this all the time. Like, what would that exactly be worth?
Millions.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I think because that's what the argument Drew makes all the time, and like I'm starting to like come around on this. It's like if you paid someone like it's gonna get blown way out of proportion, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. Like
Exactly.
10 grand to do like a 6 month mentorship, so you could do like $1 million in sales, and argument's sake, maybe 100,000 in profit, or even if it was 50 after everything, like that's 5x what you
Mhm.
paid, and then you get to do it again next year and the year after that, and
I'm
like
saying
so on and
millions.
so forth. So I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of people balk at these high end like mentorships and stuff like that, and like as a person who has run one before and like have seen people have success, I was like, damn, like it's pretty crazy. Like one of our first people like passed like 50K in sales, and you're like, wow, like they had like no idea what to do. And there's another person who just passed 10K, but he's kind of like going at his own pace and like making his own progress, or however he's like super thrilled. So that's like a great example too. And it's just like, yep, they didn't know anything before this. So like, what is that actually worth? I think one of the hard parts about this as well is like it almost, I go back and forth. I think like mentorship is like super important. And I think it's important because like everything changes. So like, you know, let's just say like the hot item was like the Nike socks or whatever, right? It was all hush hush. Now that's like really no longer a thing. Or I don't know. I'm really not in that like ecosystem, so I don't really know. But like from what I hear, it's not. So like if you just had that on like a PDF, well, guess what? Now like who knows what the next thing is?
Yeah.
Um, so that's how I kind of look at that. I don't know. What do you think?
It'd be worth a lot, in my opinion.
I
My
agree.
business partner asked me that one time. He said, "How much if somebody gave you $2 million right now for your knowledge and everything that comes with your store, would you take it?" At first, I said
Ooh,
no
interesting.
because I was just being greedy. But then I remember $2 million could get me a lot of houses here in Ohio. I'd be retired. I'd be sitting pretty. I would be doing whatever I felt like. So honestly, if I get $2 million, maybe definitely, actually definitely, I would
Million.
definitely take it. And I'd be okay.
I would.
I'd make the 2 million work, and make my money work for me essentially, so that it wouldn't just be me going and buying a $2 million condo somewhere. It'd be like me investing in things to make more money from the $2 million. He's like, "Yeah, would you do that?" And he thought I was crazy for saying no, but then he told me like his thoughts about it, and I was like, "You know what? You're right." He's like,
I think,
"Two,
yeah, I think the big key to that is like the compounding,
yeah,
right?
I know,
You get to do it. So, like, if for argument's sake, if you were to sell on Amazon for 10 years, that $2 million is nothing.
I
Like,
know,
to learn that because, like, probably by year two, you'd probably be doing like a million or two.
yeah,
Times that by 10, now we're talking about like 20-ish million. If you keep like compounding it, like you have this huge business. It's always interesting. I always thought that too, like Amazon would almost be like an alternative like investment for people. Like people would take on other people's money, and I know people that like kind of do that already and like kind of give them a return or whatever. Like I
okay,
always thought that like way before, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. But I also think like it attracts a person though too. Like if someone were to be like, "Hey, I want to work with you. Like I'm gonna give you $10,000." Like I feel like that person's like going to be super committed to it. Like
yeah,
I
true,
feel there's definitely that thing. I bought tons of stuff for 200, 300, $400 that like I kind of did, kind of went through. I'm doing something with someone else. We paid 5 grand. Like we're pretty invested in what
yeah,
we're working on. Like so, um, there's something definitely to be said for that, and it's like we're really getting like our hand held with what we're doing. So like for me, like it's a no brainer. But yeah, it would be interesting. And I always like think that I actually had a YouTube comment. Someone said like online arbitrage isn't like a real business and like you're wasting your time once you fit one of those like once you figure in the gas money type of people. Um, it's just like I don't know. I think it is, to be honest, for me. I don't know. If I was starting over and like I kind of had some money, I'd probably consider buying someone's store. Like they, if I knew what I knew now, like oh, like if they have profitable ASINs and like I could like leave source off of that, like that would save me like a good 6 months. Like obviously it would depend on how much it was for, but I don't know. It's interesting.
it's a good question.
John Michaela, what is your current inventory evaluation? I have no idea. I'd have to look in inventory labs.
Yeah,
Do you know what it is?
I do a lot of FBM now, so I'm not.
So you have all yours.
So like I just have mounds of boxes at my house, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
have probably.
at doing.
There's probably about 10 grand worth of stuff like in this room right now.
I've got a lot. Yeah.
How do you all handle a listing that had 3 historical sellers when you bought, and then it shot up to 49 sellers in less than a month, and the price tanks to the floor? You wait out the 40 tankers? I wouldn't know. I would just dump it.
Why does it feel like a back to school listing?
Yeah, I would 100% dump it. I mean, it depends on like your capital. No, I would just dump it, like regardless.
Yeah,
Like,
just cut it. Yeah, just cut it.
everyone's like, you could like no, because like one of the things no one talks about is like everyone's like, oh, I waited out. Sometimes it doesn't go back. I know everyone likes to say if you look at the history, like I've been on some listings that are still 2 years later worse than they were when I dumped everything. So like I get it, like, oh, you could wait it out. But you also have to like Chris Potter talks about this, like your opportunity cost. It's like, well, like now you can't invest that into like something profitable. Like if you're already like, I don't know, let's call it like $5 or $10 in the hole, like just like get out of there and just hopefully you're not that deep into it. But like that's how I look at it. It's like, ooh, shit, like I'm gonna lose $10 on this. But I'm like, well, you only have 5, so you're gonna lose $50. Do I want to lose $50? No. But it is what it is. Or it's like, well, maybe you're gonna lose $100 in 2 weeks. It's like, I'll just lose the 50 now. I kind of like cut my losses and wipe my hands of it. Because what also is gonna happen, the longer you wait, the more people that are gonna keep dropping the price, and then like there'll come a point where like it almost doesn't make sense. Like you might as well just like dispose of it.
Yeah, it's like the Titanic. You just gotta know when you gotta get off.
Yeah, and I think it's always a hard part to do, and it's like sometimes those listings like that only have 3, I would almost assume that was. Would you think that was like a newer listing? Probably, right? Probably like 90 days old, 30 days old. If that was the case, those are always hard to predict because like there is no history, and most of those listings are not that deep, only have 10, but damn, WTF, have no idea where those sellers came from because I found it on the website. Probably lost $200. Yeah, it could have been on like a bolo list, or I mean, there's a ton of like group coaching, group chats, group this, group that, and sometimes that stuff gets on there. And yeah, it happens. That's just part of the business, and like depending on how you feel about that $200 loss, I feel like sometimes, like for me, yeah, when I first started, I was like, "Oof, this is terrible." Now I'm just like whatever. I'm like kind of numb to it. It's like, just one of those listings. Like if you read the Keepa like correct, if I would say if you would buy it again, there's definitely some times where I'm just like in my gut when I'm buying something, I'm like, I think this is good. But like if it goes bad, I'm like, you knew like this wasn't gonna like pan out. Like you were just hoping. But I mean, it happens. But I wouldn't like beat yourself up over it. Just kind of like look at kind of what you think happens. Sometimes it's just dumb luck. Maybe it's the site. Like they have a bunch of different stuff. I would also say with listings that have little to no history. Now, this is a very general statement, not all of them. Those listings I have found are very prone to getting deleted by Amazon. Because usually there is a listing on Amazon that one, Amazon is on, or two, like it's much lower, like probably half the price. And Amazon just has not found that listing yet. And they're probably going to delete it because it does not comply. Someone just probably got stuck with inventory. Like, oh, I'm just going to create this listing. Like, it's a hot product. Like, someone will see this.
Mm-hmm.
Those usually get taken down.
Especially with all the restrictions and stuff going around. I've seen
Yeah.
more now because like the main listing gets shut down for people, and then they just create another listing and another listing and another listing. And then before long, like you've got like 5 listings of the same product.
Yeah, those are always tricky. But Amazon usually does catch those. I just received some scissors during this stream that I bought online to send to FBA. I still find it weird how randomly my inventory is becoming. Yeah. Yeah, weird. I had a tweet about that. Like weird stuff sells. Like weird and normal and boring stuff. It sells, and it's kind of like the best stuff to sell because not a lot of people think about stuff like that. Like it's just like, everyone's thinking about Nike and Adidas, and there's nothing wrong with that stuff, but like there's just a lot of everyday stuff that people buy or teachers buy or whatever. But yeah, weird stuff, common stuff, boring stuff, all those. When am I doing more sourcing videos? I don't know. It's getting, I will say, it's harder and harder to kind of do these videos. Just because like you blow up other people's store, I just don't really feel like my editor like having them go through and like blur everything out. I'll maybe think of like a creative way to do it, but it's just really hard, especially today. Like one person gets like a little snippet of like something like you didn't cover up, and then like you kind of like whatever. You could be like found out, and I'm just not trying to deal with that. While I'm not afraid to be like, I think I'm getting stuff like in a good way or like kind of tricky or like kind of have some moats around stuff. I don't know. It just doesn't matter. I feel like, and like with a little piece of, I know someone like who I DM with regularly. He'll just send me people's like storefronts, and it's literally something they like posted on Instagram. That like you'd be like, oh, how do you like find that? And like he blew up a picture of like a Walmart box that had their address on it, like something like so stupid where you think like the angle was off or whatever, and I'm just like, damn, like that's pretty crazy. So yeah, it makes it do stuff like that hard. Depends on how fast it's moving. I waited for other sellers to run out. The offer count went down and the price went back up. It took about 3 months for the listing to rebound in price. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you want to do. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with velocity. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's like good. I just don't like, for me, like just, I don't know. I feel like the longer you're on the listing, like just the more that could happen. And I'm just, I don't know.
I'm not that patient.
Yeah, me either. For the last year, it had 3 sellers and price was flat as a pancake. Sounds about 200 a month. I'm hoping after the tankers bite the dust, I could jump back on as the 4th seller. Yeah, that probably definitely just hit like a bolo list or a leads group or.
Sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that sucks. Like that's just one of those too. It's just like you probably did all the right things and like just dumb luck, like call it whatever you want. Like it just didn't work out. I know a couple of things like I found like I thought like really good and I had like a pretty good moat, like just nosedive. Like those keepers where it's just like in like after a day. And that was like pretty straight the whole time, like historically. Never hit its break even. Now it's at like, I don't know, I think I might be taking like a $10 loss on it. But I only have 5. I did test buy, so it's like, all right, like whatever. Like on to the next one. And then yeah, that's a good point too. Like always like with listings that tank, always go back to them and see like, hey, is it profitable? Did sellers drop off? I definitely do a lot of that. I love getting on listings that have that like little roller coaster of like the up and down sellers, and like if you could hit it right on the down, I always like those. How's the new Discord you and Perry made, Michaela? Is it specifically for wholesale or OA?
There's OA in it as well. But the part that I'm helping with is obviously the wholesale, the transition from OA to wholesale. So it's really cool inside. So the way that it kind of works.
I didn't even know you launched it.
Yeah, Pear Tree.
Hmm.
Hold on, let me double check that's right.
Pear Tree?
It was already named before I joined, so Pear Tree FBA. But basically what happens is every week Perry and I meet and I teach him. Like we have each week is like a set, like whatever course. Like we have like a course for him. What he does is he actually is going through the transition himself right now. So like
okay.
it's awesome for those people who really want to like this is best case scenario, you know what I mean? Because you're working alongside somebody else who is going through that from OA to wholesale. So I'm teaching him the content, and what he's doing is he is learning from me and he is actually doing it himself. And then he then records the videos. So, and then talks about kind of like the experiences and any tidbits of information from his perspective. And then obviously from mine, we've got tons of interviews lined up with all kinds of people. We've got like an actual like wholesaler is in there, and he did multiple videos with him just talking about like from their perspective, like a supplier's perspective. And then we're going to bring on the team from Oregon Prep Center, because we partnered with the Discord, and all of the Discord members get preferred pricing. It's like a discount through OPC. And then he brought on his name's like Shawshank on Twitter, the Capital One guy. The Capital One guy. He brought him. Okay. We could talk about business credit. And then there's going to be one of me and Ricky, my business partner, next week about basically vetting suppliers and stuff like that. And then he's got all kinds of, he has another person who owns a prep center he's going to bring on, and there's all kinds of just interviews. And then obviously each week is a different like module, and he does like actual videos. And then we have like some PDFs for some stuff like basic terminology and how to set up an LLC and an EIN and how to get your sales exemption. And it's like super super thorough. So like he's walking people through it, because who better like to walk you as somebody is doing it themselves.
Yeah.
So it's super cool. It's a very interesting project. I didn't think I'd ever get involved in a Discord again, but he presented the offer, and like I saw the vision for it, and there's no other Discord out there like that right now. So
it's a ton of work. Like I think about it all the time about starting another one, but like
it's a lot of work. I mean, I you know what I mean? Like I have my part, but then he's been working on this for months. Like months.
I don't really do it with a partner. I don't think I'd do by myself.
Yeah. There's no way I could do this alone. And he does. He creates all the videos and everything and edits them and stuff. And I'm basically like teaching him. I'm like the teacher, and then he's actually doing the heavy lifting.
That is a really cool concept. How many times a week does Oregon Prep Center ship out 500 units a month?
It kind of depends on what you want as well. So, you can put in your sheet how frequent you want it to be shipped out. But if it doesn't make sense, because say for instance, you say, hey, I want it shipped out twice a week. Okay. Like we have people that ship out twice a week. But it's say for instance, 1 week you slow down or whatever. And if you don't have enough shipment to send out for twice, we're not going to just send out like a half a box for you kind of thing. So like you can tell us exactly kind of what you want. But like we also are smart about it, and we don't want you to pay a bunch of money for shipping and shipping fees. If it'd be best to just say, hey, like I know you normally want to ship out on Monday and Wednesday, but I think it's probably best for this week we should just send out Wednesday instead of both days. Just trying to save people money, because like even though we've gotten our shipping costs down, I think Ricky said like from 45 to 25 cents now. And then our LTL is super, super good as well. Just because Ricky's super good about, and that's another thing that we talk about in the Discord as well, how to save on shipping costs. And he's got it like down to a science because he's like big into logistics, and he has other businesses and stuff that like moves pretty big weight. So he's got that all kind of mastered now.
That's awesome. What else we got? How much is the Discord and how can I join it?
There was a code. I can't remember what time it started yesterday, so it may be past that time. But there was a 25% off, I believe, yesterday for the first 24 hours. So check on my Twitter page. It's on there, and so it's on Perry's as well. But it's $40 a month after that 24-hour period. Like I said, I don't know exactly what time it was. My days and hours and time, it's all messed up.
I don't know. I very rarely know what day it is.
I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. So there's a paid version and there's a free version as well. In the free version, there's a ton of people in the free version. There's they've been doing it. Well, him and somebody else did it prior to me joining, but there's 500 people in the free chat.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
That's awesome. Is there any more? I think we answered all the questions. Do you guys have any last minute questions? Not probably.
If not, I'm gonna roll in there and get my paint.
Yeah, I get it. What color are you getting?
I did a poll on my story.
Really?
Colors were light gray. So in my other house it's a total gut job except for the kitchen. It's going to take me a little bit of time, but that one's going to be light gray. And then this flip house is going to be white uppers and then they're navy blue lowers. So it's going to look real slick, but I got to go get the paint for it.
That's awesome.
Interested? Link. Send me a message on Instagram or Twitter.
DMs.
And I will, if anybody needs the link for it, just send me a message on Twitter or Instagram. And if I don't answer back tonight, I'll check tonight, then send me another message because like I said, my times and my
Instagram, it's a disaster.
I know. I finally just caught up.
I haven't really been on lately because I've been doing some more prep and trying to really crush this opportunity. And you
better crush the opportunity. I'm thinking about coming back into the game. You know what I mean? Are we talking about the thing that I think we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought about it again. You know what I mean? Even though I got burnt, I think I might come back. I might make a comeback. I don't know yet. I gotta see. I don't know. Maybe if you guys do good, maybe that'll inspire me. Maybe I just need some motivation, John.
Yeah, we're we're actually talking on we were a little lost on the journey right now, but we're gonna figure it out.
It's okay. You get lost on that journey a lot, but that's okay. As long as you get to the end point.
Yeah, I literally got a text this morning. He's like, where are we? What are we doing? I have no idea, to be honest.
It does. It takes time.
So I was like, let's just talk on Tuesday. We'll just get back on track or whatever.
My Twitter is FBA Michaela. Right here.
FBA Michaela.
And my Instagram is the same as well. How many rooms in your house am I remodeling? I'm gonna call it the Barney house because the bathroom's purple. I took a video. I need to post it. I did a before, so I did a walkthrough and I kind of visioned out with everybody because everybody was like, why don't you just do a A to Z kind of thing, you show us through it all. So I did a before one and I forgot to do it for my other house, so please don't kill me, people. But I did it for that one house. It's called the Barney house, and that one has 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. All of them are going to get remodeled, and then the kitchen I don't have to do major demo. I just got to paint the cabinets and install backsplash and floors and paint and just did lipstick cosmetic stuff, nothing major. But I did tear down. There was when you walked in the door, it was just a divide, so we blew through that thing.
Are you doing a lot of it too? Are you pulling stuff down?
Yeah. We bought the dust mask because it used to have a coal burner. That's how old this place is. And so
Yeah, I
when
do remember seeing that on your
we're
Instagram story.
knocking down dude, I have like scrapes all over me and bruises everywhere from knocking down walls and stuff. But we had masks, and dude, I like it still didn't like fully protect my, and I had like black snot. It was
Oh
disgusting. But
god.
that house, that one's pretty much all except for the kitchen, and then the second house is just the bathrooms, and then I'm splitting up the master bedroom into 2 bedrooms, and then I'm converting the formal dining room into another bedroom, so it's going to be a 4 bedroom, 2 bath instead of a 2 bedroom 2 bath. So it's going to increase. I'm going to pump up the ARV on that one, and it comes with an acre of land. It's very nice. It's a very
Wow.
nice house. It's a very nice house, and it's going to be very nice. It's probably the nicest house I've ever even thought about buying. When my realtor told me about it, I actually was at another house, and he's like, "Dude, this place is like god awful." He said, let me show you another house that you may be interested in. It's fallen out of contract. Like it's above your price range. So like I usually try to shoot under $100,000.
Okay.
And this house was 135. I ended up paying for it.
Ooh.
And so it was, outside my budget, but he showed it to me, and I loved it. It was a foreclosure, and it sat on the market for like 2 years because it just kept falling out of contract. A lot of people don't like dealing with, HUD and everything. So
Got it, got it.
it fell
The
out.
opportunity. People don't like dealing with it because they're lazy.
Yeah,
True.
it just needs updated. It's a super nice house. Like nothing structurally. Like it had a new roof put on it. Just got to fix the deck, and like I said, put a closet in a room and put up a divide so that there's 2 separate bedrooms, and then just cosmetic stuff. It shouldn't take entirely too long if I can get some people.
Yeah, how long will it take you?
Well, it was going to take me like a month, but I don't know. I'm on Facebook, like scouting up people to help me. I feel like I've got like my
I feel like
options.
that's a hard thing to hire for too,
Yeah,
because
it's
a
like
lot of
picking
people.
from it's like picking from like Dumb and Dumber and the bench warmers. So it's like
Oh,
no offense to these people, but like yeah, it's hard. Good help is hard to find. Like that is honest to truth. And in Ohio, like as long as you can swing a hammer, you can call yourself a contractor. So
that's. But I guess it could be good in the future because, like, if you could find a good person who's
I know.
freelance and you're going to buy a bunch of houses, it's like a VA. Like, it just
Yes.
sucks. It's like terrible at first, and then it's like if you could find that one VA that could like find you $1,000 worth of stuff every week, then it's worth it. But like, it could take you a while to kind of
I
go do
just
that
I just
and
want to
see how
hire
it works.
a team. What I want is
That
just an
would be hard though too, because like it's not like you could be like send me 3
yes.
leads or something. It's like you have to like see how he puts up a wall, and then if it's crooked, you're like,
Yes, it's not easy
oh,
because like I said, you can just swing a hammer and you're a contractor in Ohio. And
that's funny.
two,
Bring VAs to do the renovation.
I'm thinking about it. They may be better than my options that I've got right now. But and B, I don't somebody's like drag racing over here or something. I don't know a whole lot, and I'm not gonna pretend like I do. I know how to do basic demo. I know how to do interior designing and layouts, and I know how to do tile work to a certain extent, and that's about it. So like the drywall and all that stuff, and I can paint too. But like the heavy lifting part, that part I just not that good at. So it's just like it honestly feels like Dumb and Dumber, like me trying to teach somebody.
Yeah, it's like no, I hired you to like figure this out. I'm not
Yeah,
giving you that
it's like the concept of you shouldn't hire a VA unless you know how to do something. It's like
that's a perfect way to look at it. It's just like
yeah, I'm honestly trying to hire somebody that, and I don't even know how to do it, but I don't have no choice. You know what I mean? Like at this
yeah,
point,
I'd be the
what
same
do I
way. I'm
do?
not like handy at all, and then be like, yeah, we're gonna have to put like these. My dad's very handy. He'd be like, we're gonna have to
Mhm.
do this and this. I'm like, all right, sounds good. And
Yeah.
then it's like you're like, it's wrong, or like someone comes, it's like it's wrong, and he's like, this is what you said to do. I'm like, shit, yeah, I didn't think about. Yeah, I guess I did, but it's because you said that's what we had to do. but like, it is what it is.
That's what my dad was like. You need to make sure you're going down there every day and making sure that they're doing what they're doing. I'm like, Dad, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Like, they could be hanging the drywall and be like, oh my God, that looks so good. And then it'd be like way wrong because I have no idea what I'm looking at. So I'm going to have to watch some YouTube videos so I know what's good versus what's bad. But like some stuff I obviously know, but like some things I'm just like, oh, that looks good. And then like somebody's like, no, that's really bad. I'm like, whoa, never mind.
Do you follow Meet Kevin?
Meet Kevin. Is that the guy with the private jet?
Yeah, he just bought one. He was like a real estate agent. I think he owned like obviously like a demo company. I think he has like some YouTube videos about like how to do or like what to look for. So maybe he has some videos.
Oh yeah, that's how I taught myself how to tile was YouTube and TikTok.
It's
It
crazy, yeah, what you can learn.
It didn't turn out great in some spots, but I think I did better than what most people would do. So I'm gonna.
I mean, yeah, if it's your first time too. I mean,
I don't use power tools though, so like that's number one thing. I will not use power tools. So
yeah, that would put you in quite the predicament. So like, just do Michaela with like a saw. Like
I need someone who knows how to use a saw. So because I will not do it. I can't. It scares me too much. I'm afraid I'm going to cut my finger off. I used to volunteer in the emergency room when I was trying to become a doctor, and like I saw some crazy stuff like chainsaws and like no, I'm good. Not gonna happen. So okay, I'm gonna peace out of here and get my paint.
Yeah, peace. Thanks for being here, guys. We will see you next week. We actually have an awesome guest next week, so
power.
Get ready. Peace out. Have a good week,
guys.
And we'll see you in the next one.